ចូលរួមច្រៀង Holy Song ដល់អ្នកគ្នាបាទបទលេខ12បាទ ចូលរួមច្រៀងដល់អ្នកគ្នាបាទសូមលឺតិចមកបាទសូមលឺ We shout with joy we riot sing the will of God is done សូមសម្លេងលឺតិចបាទ You dream like the son of God Why they bring me to crusade God power will be revealed in the children of our Father, the use of harmony, the darkness which has covered us in Him has been dispelled. The born praise into daylight, we ring the morning bell. 30 billion shall live in the bright white light of truth. Let us fly and march forward with harmony or use. Our children of the heavenly power, we march again our four. The command comes and the world bow to our true Father's own. Giving light unto the nation, we carry high our dream. Let us win out for our Father, the use of harmony. បាទរុនសុស្ដីម្ដងទៀតយើងសូមគ្រប់គ្រងចោលដល់អ្នកគ្នាហើយយើងធ្វើការច្រៀងនៅ Holy Song មួយបទទៀត Day of glory, let's sing together. Through silent darkness come, peace and clearest voice. His words of truth and light, raise us up from sleep. Glory, oh glory, oh glorious Lord, welcome, oh welcome, oh welcome Him now, giving all you have and join with our Lord, one with our God, sharing love and beauty evermore. For now the day all men desire, day of celebration is at hand. Sunrise and morning come, we rise up in His light. Spread forth the word of good, giving all your strength. Glory, oh glory, oh glorious Lord, welcome, oh welcome, oh welcome Him now, giving all you have and join with our Lord, one with our God, sharing love and beauty evermore. For now the day all men desire, day of celebrations is at hand. All holy children come, new they have done at last. March forward one and all, quickly now unite. Glory, oh glory, oh glorious Lord, welcome, oh welcome, oh welcome Him now, giving all you have and join with our Lord, one with our God, sharing love and duty evermore. For now the day all men desire, day of celebration season. បាទសូមចូលរួមធ្វើការសមាធិ short meditation. Okay, អរុនសួស្តីថ្នាក់ដឹកនាំបាទ Brother Supal បាទ Mrs. Masmi Papa good morning everyone បាទអញ្ចឹងយើងអាចគ្រប់គ្នាបន្តិចសិនណាបាទ good morning សូមចេញឡើងមកខាងមុខមកបាទឡើងមកមុខអស់មកកៅអីតនេហ្នឹងបាទបាទអញ្ចឹងយើងបាទយើងច្រៀងមួយបទទៀតហើយយើងធ្វើការគោរពចាប់ផ្ដើម Sunday Service ជាផ្លូវការរបស់យើងបាទចូលរួមច្រៀង Light of Grace Oh light of grace shining above lighting my dim shoulder way. Oh, light of grace, easing my pain. You have shown that God is love. I give my life and my love unto the one God. Clouds may come, hiding His ways, hiding the sky. Oh my God, though clouds may come, still He is there, shining brightly. God is love. I give my life and my love unto the one God of love. Amid the storm, tossed on the sea, beacon of hope guiding me. Amid the storm, shelter is near, trust in Him for God is love. I give my life and my love unto the one God of love. All things decay, passing away. Only the light shone remain. All things decay, still there is one true and faithful God is love. I give my life and my love unto the one God of love. បាទសូមសម្រុំចិត្តសម្រុំកាយដើម្បីធ្វើការគោរពពាក់កណ្ដាលចំហទៅកាន់ពុកម្ដាយឋានសួគ៌និងពុកម្ដាយពិតទាំងអស់គ្នាឈិនជីនចាំពូមនិមកែក្នុងបែបាទបាទសូមចូលរួមអាននៅពាក្យសច្ចាគ្រួសារខាចុងមេសេជាភាសាកូរ៉េ
가정 맹세 1. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정 문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Soomចូលរួមបួងសួងជាមួយខ្ញុំស្រាងហើយសិនហានៅពុំនេះជន់ជាចាំពុំនេះខំសាមេដាស្រាងពុំដៃឋានសួគ៌ពុំដៃពិតជាទីគោរពជាទីស្រឡាញ់អរគុណសម្រាប់ឱកាសពេលវេលាថ្ងៃនេះដែលគ្រូសាបសិទ្ធពរជ័យថ្នាក់ដឹកនាំបងប្អូនប្រុសស្រីរបស់យើងទាំងអស់គ្នាបានមកទីនេះជួបជុំគ្នាចូលរួមនៅសេវាកម្មថ្ងៃអាទិត្យសូមអរបងប្អូនប្រុសស្រីរបស់យើងទាំងអស់គ្នាបានបើកចិត្តបើកគំនិតដើម្បីរៀននៅអ្វីដែលថ្មីដែលជាសច្ចភាពក៏ដូចជាស្វែងយល់អំពីទឹកចិត្តរបស់ពុំដៃឋានសួគ៌ពុំដៃពិតពុំដៃឋានសួគ៌ពុំដៃពិតហើយតាមរយៈសារដែលលោកប្រធានដែលមានដាំងឃ្លីដែលនឹងផ្ដល់នៅថ្ងៃនេះសូមឲ្យយើងយល់កាន់តែជ្រាបជ្រាបអំពីជំរឿទឹកចិត្តរបស់អ្នកម្ដាយពិតរបស់យើងដែលពោពេញទៅដោយការបដិញ្ញាចិត្តឥតងាកទេដើម្បីសម្រេចនៅឆន្ទៈរបស់ពុំដៃឋានសួគ៌នៅលើផែនដីនេះពុំដៃឋានសួគ៌ពុំដៃពិតពួកកូននឹងថាយើងនៅតែមានកម្រិតនៅក្នុងសេចក្តីស្រឡាញ់មានកម្រិតនៅក្នុងការបដិញ្ញាចិត្តដើម្បីដើរនៅលើមាគ៌ារបស់ទ្រង់តែម្ដងហើយម្ដងទៀតពុំដៃឋានសួគ៌ពុំដៃពិតយើងនឹងខិតខំបន្តបន្ថែមទៀតដើម្បីឲ្យឆន្ទៈរបស់ពុំដៃឋានសួគ៌បានសម្រេចនៅលើផែនដីនេះហើយយើងអាចកសាងរាជាណាចក្រឆន្ទនិគុកជាមួយគ្នាផងដែរអរគុណសម្រាប់អ្វីសពបែបយ៉ាងហើយសូមឲ្យបងប្អូនប្រុសស្រីរបស់យើងគ្រូសាស្ត្រពរជ័យកូនចំនួនទី2អាចរីករាយនៅក្នុងសេវាកម្មថ្ងៃអាទិត្យជាមួយគ្នាផងដែរអរគុណទាំងអស់នេះកូនសូមដាក់ថ្វាយនៅការបួងសួងតំណាងឲ្យត្រាក់នាំគ្រូសាស្ត្រពរជ័យបងប្អូនប្រុសស្រីរបស់យើងក្នុងនាមកូនសានចិន្តាអរនេះគ្រូសាស្ត្រទទួលការប្រសិទ្ធពរជ័យOkay, thank you. Good morning once again, brothers, sisters, leaders, blessed family, second generation. Good morning. How are you? Wow. Okay. Yeah, please take your seat. បាទអញ្ចឹងបន្តទៅទៀតយើងនឹងមាននៅការសម្ដែងពិសេសពីប៉ាប៉ា Peter បាទអញ្ចឹងសូមទះដៃស្វាគមន៍ដល់ប៉ាប៉ាទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទ Morning. Yeah.
I asked our beautiful sister Melanie from Australia. Melanie, do you want to perform with me on Sunday? Yes, let's do it. Then I give her 5 songs. You can choose one. So she choose one, but unfortunately I don't see that. Sorry, so I have to sing alone. I'm so lonely. Okay, let's sing even alone. So this is a worship song. You choose worship song. And this, if life were glorious enough. Glory, if life were really glorious. So this is the title of the song. Okay. Somebody knows the song? If life were glorious enough. No, nobody? So, in America, mostly every Christian know it. Australia, every Christian know it. But Asia, maybe not so much. Okay. If life were gracious enough, if life were gracious enough to grant my way, I will reach to the end of the earth to give love in every day, and each will find his home with peace and friendship there, where joyous songs abound and happiness to share. If life were gracious enough to grant my dreams, I would see your face in the stars and hear your songs in every street, the comfort of your smile in the warm cares of spring, and the dance of life all the while. I feel your love in everything. We will make life gracious enough to fulfill our dream. We will lift off the white of the bird, and our love will blossom supreme. We will free each heart from pain and anguish of the past, through the preciousness of our love. True joy will reign at last. If life were gracious enough to grant my way, I will reach to the end of the earth to give love in every day, and each will find his home with peace and friendship there, where joyous songs abound and happiness to share.
Bà chẳng ở con té đai long tiết ở con đó papa pizza đó nè bà chẳng ở bọt chấm riêng đó nè pizza cứ nơi Europe chẳng hay bàn dương ở sài đằng bát tay sất tầm miền ở tận đây bộ pin sẽ đòi cạp đặt nhà chất phiệp rì rì hay năng sực đây sừng khâm sầm mẹp anh cốt bà chẳng dương ai search tam YouTube hay những đạp với chẳng biết bắt đo nơi ca chấm rôn thực chất về copy chấm riêng bọt mai dương pizza cứ tẹt tông từ năng slide hàแต่ตรงที่นังสึกได้ออกสังคมพัดขบอดจังคือเจียวไว้มวยได้เมียนเพียบขอบไฟเนี่ยมาจังออกคนป้าพิเตอร์มันเด่นสำหรับการยกบอดจำเรียงนี้มาเชียงในថ្ងៃนี้ไอ้ประตูเตี้ยส่งบอมโปนโปรเซสบอลเยิงบาดหนังน้อมโจรวมตุสนาพีซทีวีบอลเยิงโดยรีๆตัวออกเนี่ยบัด Warm greetings everyone, and welcome to this week's HJ Global News. In Heavenly Korea, the Family Federation pastors gathered for the 2022 Heavenly Parents Holy Community Church Leaders General Assembly. The event included spirited reports, discussions, and special devotional sessions, plus meetings to establish a clear Phase 1 strategy for Vision 2027. It was also an occasion for strengthening pastors' capabilities and for them to determine to bring victory for 2027. In this week's HJ Global News, we will say a little more on this Korean Church Leaders Assembly, at which True Mother also spoke, plus bring you news from around the world, maybe from somewhere near you. 640 pastors from across the country attended the 2022 Heavenly Parent Holy Community General Assembly of Heavenly Korea Family Federation Church Leaders. The three-day meeting focused on victory in Vision 2027 and in the dedication of Chonwon-gun and the Chonil Sanctum. At the opening ceremony, International Headquarters Director General Dr. Yoon Young-ho presented awards to pastors and churches that had brought exemplary results in the second 40-day activities condition. Congratulatory video messages from supportive dignitaries were screened, following which Director General Yoon offered opening remarks.
그래서 이번 우리 목회자 총회 때 2027에 한 60개월도 한번 전략 수립 같이 한번 해보시고요. 두 번째 천원군 천일성전의 승리 부분을 위한 결의도 한번 만들어보고요. 세 번째는 천심천부 수행을 우리가 다 같이 만들어가야 됩니다. 우리 목회자님들과 함께 이걸 만들어가면서 소위 얘기해서 새로운 목회자 총회로서의 도약과 초석과 기반을 닦는 이번 총회가 되었으면 좋겠습니다.
In the afternoon, the Heavenly Korea co-presidents gave reports on the special region of Heavenly Korea. They shared their present policies plus their strategies for the future. After that, a report on the Chonwon-gun, including the Chonil Sanctum, was given. FFWPU Director General Yoon Young-ho stressed the importance of Chonwon-gun and its special chapel at its core.
노적의 선리사의 의미가 필요합니다. 왜냐 이 7년 노정에 7개국 7개 종단 복귀가 없으면 천원궁 천일 성전은 드러나지 않죠. 천일국의 중앙청, 하늘 부모님의 본성전, 천일 성전, 그 다음에 천지 선악원이라는 부모님 말씀은 그대로 남아 있습니다. 생애 업적 전시관을 저희들은 천지 선악원으로 부릅니다. 그래서 이 7년 노정 그리고 2020의 천일국 안착하셨기 때문에 하늘 부모님의 본성전, 그리고 7개국을 복귀했기 때문에 중앙청이 필요합니다. 어머니 하신 말씀이 딱 하나예요. 지상천국의 모델을 내가 보여주겠다. 어머님께서는 효정이라는 단어는 2016년, 그리고 이 효정이 살아 숨쉬는 것이어야 천원이 된다, 하늘 동산이 된다라고 재규정을 하셨습니다. 그래서 이 효정 천원의 완성이 내년 2023년입니다. 그런데 이 효정 천원의 가장 핵심이 천원궁 천일성전. 그래서 누구나 와서 마음문을 열고 부모님의 생애 업적을 볼 수밖에 없게끔 준비를 하고 있고요. 저희들은 이 천원궁 천일성전을 봉헌하는 그 기점으로 해서 마지막 60개월을 놓고 정말 제60회 하늘 부모님의 날에 실체적 대륙 복귀의 토대 위에 저희들이 마지막 기념식 하는 목표와 비전을 가지고 전진하겠습니다.
The next report was by Chonwon-gun Construction Steering Committee Chair An Woo-young on the progress of the Chonwon-gun construction work. Exhibition Subcommittee Kim Jae-chul then reported on the preparations of the exhibition hall covering True Parents' lives and work. Central Training Director Reverend Lee Sung-il has been visiting major churches to give a special report on the construction of Chonwon-gun, including a detailed explanation of the Chonil Sanctum, Heavenly Parents' historically unique temple. In this way, the providential significance and value of Chonwon-gun and the Chonil Sanctum were clearly expressed, so it was a chance for everyone to resolve to devote themselves wholeheartedly for its victorious dedication. The second day started with the Chonshim Chonbo practice in the early morning through Chonil exercises, worship practice and Hundok reading.
The third Heavenly Korea Strategy Conference was held, including a special message from Pastor Paula White, emphasizing that pastors must move forward with courage.
As we look at these times of transition, these times of change, these times that God is doing a new thing and pouring out new wine in new wineskins, we've got to understand that it takes great courage. These are seasons that God has called you to be at the forefront to lead, and don't let crisis compel you, force you to stop being who you are. I love you. I believe in you. I'm praying for you. Go forth with great courage in Jesus' name.
In this third strategy conference, Sunday services, sermons and the worship environment were the key words used by all the speakers during their remarks, and they were also the topics for the discussions held. In the discussion on worship, presentations were given on the Anshiyil services and Chonbo Family Church services, including the Sunday services for different age groups, which are being made into services for new contacts and guests. Several suggestions were made regarding sermons based on subject matter and method, including the Hyojong sermons, Chonbo Family Church sermons, and sermons for younger people. In addition, the pastors requested weekly bulletins to share materials and what is happening in each church. With regard to the worship environment, there were questions on strengthening the capacity for prayer and the example of remodeling a chapel as a multi-purpose space, showcasing the example of Gwesan Church. Strategies for innovation in church music culture for the era of Chonilguk and ways to educate and support choir directors were discussed, along with plans for production of a weekly report to support mission work. To top off the session, special lectures were given for the leaders to reflect on strategies beyond those that are church-related. The first speaker was Newt Gingrich, the 50th Speaker of the US House of Representatives. He mentioned the situation in Northeast Asia being reorganized around alliances based on values. Moon Byung-chul, a think tank 2022 policy researcher, gave a lecture on North Korea's nuclear and international situation, proposals for a heavily unified Korea. He argued for the necessity of having the 5th UN office in the DMZ and for strengthening relations between Korea, the US and Japan. On the third day, the closing ceremony was a special meeting for the church leaders with True Mother. The pastors welcomed True Mother with enthusiasm. As we approached the dedication of the Chonil Sanctum at Chonwon-gung, True Mother spoke of the importance of creating Chonilguk culture and the revolution in the culture of heart for the era of Chonilguk.
여러분들은 어땠는지 모르지만은 10년을 돌이켜보게 될 때 내가 사막에서 모래풍이 불어와 눈을 뜰 수 없는 자리에서 작은 바늘 하나를 차지해야 하는 심정, 역사를 통해서 한 나라가 세워질 때는 중심 인물이 있었고 거기에 동참한 사람들이 있었어요. 그러나 나는 있다고 말할 수가 없어요. 혼자서 모든 것을 감내하며 천일국 원년을 선포했습니다. 선포만 가지고는 안 되잖아요. 그때 나는 제일 먼저 오래전부터 심정 문화 혁명 얘기를 했어요. 구약시대, 신약시대, 성약시대를 넘어 천일국 원년을 선포한 자리는 하늘 부모님을 모실 수 있는 환경을
ដែល
만드는
អាច
거였어요.
ចូលរួមបម្រើឲ្យនឹងជាមួយនឹងឪពុកម្ដាយឋានសួគ៌ឥឡូវនេះ
한 번
នៅក្នុងឧបទ្វីបកូរ៉េតាមរយៈឪពុកម្ដាយពិត
참 부모를 통한 실질적으로
យើងនឹង
이 땅에
មាននៅ
하늘 부모님을 모실 수
មួយ
있는
ដែលកន្លែងនេះយើងអាចចូលរួមបម្រើឪពុកម្ដាយឋានសួគ៌ជាក់ស្ដែង
갖게 돼.
តែម្ដងនៅលើផែនដីនេះ
그것은
គឺជាមហោសច្ចារនៅក្នុងប្រវត្តិសាស្ត្រ
인류 역사상의 기적이야.
ខ្ញុំ
한 번도
តែអ្នកអាច
꿈꿔보지
ដែរឬ
못했던
ទេ
기적이야. 실감하나?
តែអ្នកមានអារម្មណ៍អំពីវាដែរឬទេ
그러기 위해서는 이
មាន
찬송가
គោលគំនិតដ៏
이제 우리 천일국 시대에
ហើយហេតុផល
내가
វប្ប
문화원을
ធម៌
만들게 된 동기가
សម័យ
그래.
ឈុននិគុក
천일국의 문화를 만들어야 되기 때문에
តាំងពីយើងបង្កើតនៅវប្បធម៌នៃឈុននិគុក
그 노래가
ចម្រៀងនេះគឺបង្ហាញអំពីបរិ
그
យាកាស
당시에
បរិស្ថាន
환경
វេលាទាំងអស់នោះ
분위기를 말해주고 있어요. 내가 소녀시대부터
ចម្រៀងនេះគឺ
불렀던 노래가
តាំងពី
있어.
ខ្ញុំនៅជាក្មេងកុមារី
이 노래는
ចម្រៀងនេះគឺត្រូវបានបង្កើតឡើង
미국의 독립을 위한 남북 전쟁 이전에 만들어진 노래야.
មុនសង្គ្រាមលោកមុនសង្គ្រាម
미국을 위해서 내가 여러분들에게
ខ្ញុំត្រូវតែ
들려줘야겠어.
ច្រៀងចម្រៀងនេះសម្រាប់អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាសម្រាប់
켄터키의 집에 햇빛 비치여 여름날 검둥이 시절 저 새는 긴 날을 노래 부를 때 옥수수는 벌써 익었다 마루를 구르며 노는 어린 거 세상을 모르고 노나 어려운 시절이 닥쳐오리니 잘 쉬어라 켄터키의 집 잘 쉬어라 쉬어 울지 말고 쉬어 그리운 곳 켄터키의 집이 하여 머나먼 길 노래를 부르네. 그게 꼭 전문적인 지식이
ទោះបីជាអ្នកគ្មាននៅចំណេះ
없더라도 여러분들이 가슴에 우러나서
កំពុងតែរងចាំ
참부모와
ថ្ងៃនោះ
하나
អ្នក
되어
នឹងអាច
이 순간의 삶
អ្នកនៅពេល
더더구나 하늘 부모님을 직접 모실 수 있는 성전을 봉헌할 수 있는 날을 기다리며 준비하는 여러분의 정성과 노력이
ប្រៃនឹងការបូជារបស់
노래로 하늘 앞에 찬양할 수 있는 많은 보물들이 나왔으면 좋겠습니다.
ចម្រៀងនៅក្នុង
시작은 나 혼자였지만은 지금은 여러분들이 있어서
ឥឡូវនេះអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នានៅ
내가
យើងនឹង
힘을
ឈ្មោះទៅមុខ
내볼게요.
True Mother's inspiring message was followed by Hyojong testimonies.
បាទបន្ទាប់ពី
2023년
ចិត្តរបស់អ្នក
5월
គឺមាននៅ
하늘 승리의 완성, 인류 역사의 완성, 천왕국 천일성전 승리봉헌, 하늘 부모님을 모실 수 있는 성전 승리의 봄바람 소리가 벌써 귓가에 들려오고 있습니다. 다 들리지 않습니까?
특히 이번 총회의 특별 프로그램은 천심천부 수행이었습니다. 천일국 안착 시대를 처음으로 실시되는 수행 프로그램이 시연되었습니다. 우리의 몸과 마음을 새롭게 정비하는 천일운동, 경배수행, 훈독수행 방법이 시연되었습니다. 천심천부 수행을 통해서 참부모님을 닮아가는 삶이 되기를 진심으로 기원하였습니다.
15 families who will start a pilot project as Chonbo Family Churches greeted True Mother and received True Mother's blessing before starting their new mission. True Mother gave these families the mission to create model Chonbo Family Churches. Then the first national talent contest of the Heavenly Korea Special Region was held. With True Parents in attendance, starting with a special performance by the Sunhak UPA cadets, everyone who took the stage aimed to express their heartfelt devotion through their offerings of song, dance and theatre. After review by the cultural contest judges, the heavenly nation of Jolla was awarded the grand prize. Finally, the greater district leaders led the cheers of Ogman Se, and with the embrace of True Parents' love, the 2022 Heavenly Parent Holy Community General Assembly of the Family Federation Korean Pastors was brought to a close. Some 640 pastors of the Family Federation Heavenly Korea gathered at the Chonwon-gung construction site to participate in a prayer for the victorious dedication of the Chonil Sanctum. Dr. Yoon Young-ho, Director General of FFWPU International Headquarters, greeted the participants by calling on them to join in creating the historic miracle of Chonwon-gung and the Chonil Sanctum. After a message from Chonwon-gung Construction Steering Committee Chair Kim Jong-kwan, Min Hak-wol, the CEO of Sunwon Construction, gave a progress report. In unison, the co-presidents of Heavenly Korea shouted out their determination to bring victory, and everyone prayed together with a sincere heart. Joining together in heart, everyone shouted Okman Se for the victorious dedication of the Chonwon-gung and Chonil Sanctum. The 36th Peace Forum for a Heavenly Unified Korea was held in conjunction with the Seoul Metropolitan Area branch of UPF and the Council for the Beautiful Land of Korea. The forum was entitled North-South Forestry Cooperation and Civil Policy Direction for a Heavenly Unified Korea. Dr. Yoon Young-ho, Director General of the International Headquarters, said in his welcoming remarks, even though this is a small step, UPF is taking big steps towards opening an era of hope. In his opening address, Ju Jin-tae, chairman of the Seoul-Incheon Regional Committee, said it is time for South Korea, a country which has been successful in regrowing its forests, to pay attention to North Korea's forests as well. Jin Sung-bae, chairman of the Hyojong World Peace Foundation, spoke on the crisis of modern civilization and alternatives and about recent ICAS conferences. Woo Jong-chun, chairman of the Council for the Beautiful Land of Korea, introduced the activities he has undertaken with the North-South Korea Forestry Corporation. Hong Soon-jik, a researcher at the Northeast Asia Center at Seoul National University, explained the reality of deforestation in North Korea and the plan for inter-Korean forest cooperation. Park Kyung-sok, a senior expert at the Forest Management Strategy Research Institute, suggested the creation of a World Peace Forest Conservation Federation. In the discussion section, many concrete and feasible proposals were exchanged on inter-Korean forestry cooperation. Park Jin-woo, a professor of forest management at Kangwon University, said that it is important to have a roadmap for North-South forest cooperation in preparation for the opening of the door to inter-Korean exchanges. The second Peace Workshop for Heavenly Parents Holy Community was held at the Hyojong Cultural Center. In this training session, Yong Jin-hun, chairman of the Sunhak Institute of History, gave a presentation on True Parents Life Course. These peace workshops feature lectures on the Divine Principle and on True Parents Life Course. They are being conducted as part of an educational program for peace associates and new guests. Led by one of the 15 families taking the lead for Chonbo Family Church's starting pilot witnessing activity, a Pyeonghwa Nuri worship service was held at Kimjae Family Church, centered on the family of Lee Yoon-hyun and Park Ok-hyun. A former chairman of the Kimjae City Council and a Democratic Party advisor to Kimjae City, delivered congratulatory speeches. Yoon Jong-no, chairman of the Senior Pastors Association, spoke in support of the launch of the Lee Yoon-hyun and Park Ok-chun Chonbo Family Church. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, some 200 people attended a blessing ceremony to mark the 27th anniversary of True Parents' visit there. 47 couples were blessed at the event, which was held under the theme of Healthy Families Are the Cornerstone of World Peace. A workshop for elders of the Korean National Federation for a Heavenly Unified Korea was attended by 50 core executives of the Seoul Association of the Senior Korean Citizens Association. This 58th annual workshop for elders, held as a two-day event, was organized with the idea of educating the elders on True Parents' thought on a Heavenly Unified Korea and to introduce the significance of dedicating Cheonwon-gun next year. Presidents Cho Man-eun and Yoon Jong-no of the Senior Pastors Association gave special presentations saying, "Please join True Parents' peace movement and become central points for integrating public opinion." In a special presentation, Dr. Yoon Young-ho emphasized, "It is time for elders to pool their wisdom and abilities for the sake of the future." The participants were very moved by the words of Dr. Hak Jahan Moon and her amazing leadership in being able to do things that even nations find difficult to work on. The Interreligious Association for Peace and Development in Zimbabwe held a conference with 90 people in attendance. Many religious leaders attended the event and discussed ways to expand True Parents' ideology and vision throughout the country. And they took time to pledge to do their best so Zimbabwe can attend our True Parents as a nation. UPF in Taiwan held a peace march on November 12th under the theme "No Nukes, No War, Save the Earth, Save Taiwan." Representatives of NGOs and religious leaders who attended at the invitation of former Vice President Annette Lu Shulian spoke on Taiwan and on world peace. A dedication ceremony held for the Youth and Students for Peace Center in Sao Tome and Principe, Heavenly Africa, was attended by 20 people. Activities to be held at the IAYSP Center include Hyojong character education and youth cultural activities. IAYSP leaders expressed their hope that the center would be used for people to reflect upon True Parents' hopes and the mission of young people. Today we focus a lot on church leaders and pastors who stand up and take responsibility as ambassadors of the heavenly providence and as guides and carers for many other people. Whether church leaders, national leaders, sub-regional presidents or regional presidents, our pastors make great effort both to reach out to new people and to embrace the members of their own congregations. So may Heavenly Parent guide all our leaders and bless everyone that feels called to step forward and work in this movement for the transformation of hearts, the transformation of our world. On this note, we will conclude this edition of HJ Global News. Thank you for being with us, and God bless you and your loved ones this coming week.
បាទអរគុណសម្រាប់ការចូលរួមរបស់អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាយើងឃើញពីសកម្មភាពជាច្រើនដែលបានរៀបចំឡើងក៏ដូចជាបានប្រារព្ធឡើងដើម្បីរៀបចំជាយុទ្ធសាស្ត្រសម្រាប់នៅបេសកកម្មទស្សនវិស័យ 2027 បាទអញ្ចឹងអរគុណម្ដងទៀតផ្ទះដៃអរគុណដល់ក្រុម Peace TV របស់យើងបាទអញ្ចឹងយើងនឹងមាននៅការដាក់ដង្វាយបាទសូមចូលរួមច្រៀងហើយដាក់ដង្វាយទាំងអស់គ្នាដើម្បីបម្រើកិច្ចការរបស់ពុំដៃឋានសួគ៌ពុំដៃពិតនៅក្នុងព្រះរាជាណាចក្រកម្ពុជាបាទសូមចូលរួមបរិច្ចាគហើយសម្រាប់ការបរិច្ចាគគឺយើងមាននៅតាមប្រព័ន្ធអនឡាញផងដែរបាទតាមរយៈធនាគារ APA ឬក៏ ICDA ដែលមាននៅលើអេក្រង់ស្រាប់បាទ
Amen.
អរគុណសម្រាប់ការចូលរួមដាក់នៅ donation របស់អ្នកគ្នាបាទអញ្ចឹងតាមរយៈការបរិច្ចាគនេះយើងអាចទទួលនៅបុណ្យផលកុសលបាទហើយដែលអាចបម្រើជាកិច្ចការសាធារណៈផងដែរអញ្ចឹងបន្តមកទៀតបាទសូមចូលរួមទស្សនានៅសាររបស់លោកប្រធានមានដាងឃ្លីបាទដែលជាប្រធានសហព័ន្ធគ្រួសារប្រចាំតំបន់អាស៊ីប៉ាស៊ីហ្វិកទី1របស់យើងបាទសូមទះដៃស្វាគមន៍ដល់លោកប្រធានទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទហើយក៏ស្វាគមន៍អ្នកបកប្រែរបស់យើងនៅខាងលើផងដែរបាទអរគុណ
Hello everyone. So you might be watching us in the morning or in the evening. Currently for me, the sun has just gone down and I am sitting by the beautiful ocean, which you may be able to hear in the background. I hope you don't mind. I would like to read to you today the latest speech that we received from True Mother, and this was given on November 17. It was given at a special meeting for Heavenly Korean family-fed leaders hosted by True Parents, and the theme was Victory for Vision 2027 and the successful dedication of the Chonmongung and the Chonil Sanctum. So this is the theme, and this was given at the Heaven and Earth Chombo Training Center. So this is just from a few days ago, and it's a little long, so I think what I'm going to do is read it, and perhaps if I have some points to add, I will add them along the way to save a little bit of your time. But I would like to first of all title this message, and I'm going to title it with a sentence from this speech. So the title of today's message is, In the beginning, I was alone. But now that you are here, I will try to advance in hope. So these are True Mother's words. With your devoted effort and diligent work, you have striven to bear beautiful fruit over the last 2 days. Seeing your faces, I feel very grateful to you. So, I believe that during this time, they had just completed a 2-day leadership strategy meeting. I believe. It has brought back thoughts of that day 6 months after True Father's ascension, on which I proclaimed the first year of Chonoguk and Foundation Day, a day for which I had to prepare alone. The establishment of Chonoguk for the first time in history and the construction of Heavenly Parents' substantial temple where Heavenly Parents' dream can be realized on earth ushers in a new era for the Korean Peninsula, the birthplace of True Parents. In passing through truly difficult living circumstances, it is shocking that we did not have the time to prepare for such a historic day. So Mother's referring to Foundation Day. Mother's referring to the proclamation of the first year of Chonoguk and Foundation Day. And there was only 6 months after Father's ascension to when Mother proclaimed that day. And clearly she is referring to the fact that not enough preparation was done, not enough time was given properly to be able to prepare for that day. Yet, in order to keep my promise to heaven, the truth is that I could not sleep at night. When it comes to Chonoguk, it is important to build a country as its pillar, a nation that can represent it. The national bird and the national flower have been established. However, when it comes to the country and the national flag, I'm not sure how it was for all of you, but for me, when I reflect on the past 10 years, in my heart, I felt like I had to find one tiny needle in the midst of a desert sandstorm without being able to open my eyes. So, First of all here, Mother says, yet in order to keep my promise to heaven, my promise. So, Mother is in her own right, divinely prepared and called by God with a very important and unique mission. You can start to consider that with or without the only begotten Son's responsibility. Think about this. Mother speaks with an authority that stands centered on God. There's been a lot of talk. Let me just quickly enter into the fray here. This is where the big fight is. There's been a lot of talk about this and that, about the history, about the truth, about what did Mother want to say, about what his mother wanted to say for many years, about Father's course, Mother's course. But one question I want to ask everyone is very simple. Where does Mother's authority come from? Does it come from Father as a restorational figure, or does it come from Heavenly Parent? Now, even when I have asked those who a little bit struggle with the idea of some of the things that they hear Mother saying, or something like this, I ask simply this same question. Where does Mother's authority come from? From Father, so like from God to Father and Father to Mother, like this? Or does Mother's authority come from Heavenly Parent and Father's authority come from Heavenly Parent, and then they unite and make the four-position foundation? What do you think? The reason I'm pulling that out here is because I feel like Mother definitely wants to go forward with hope. But clearly, she is still explaining to us what it feels like to be in the middle of a sandstorm with your eyes closed and you've got to find one needle. And she's not referring to us, we, our struggle as true parents. She's talking about me, I, true mother, the only begotten daughter. And it starts with, yet in order to keep my promise to heaven. Not our promise, and not my promise to Father. Of course she made promises to Father, and of course true parents made promises to heaven. But Mother is referring to her promise to heaven, and I believe there is significance in that. I believe that from the earliest moments of this woman's memory, she remembers developing a relationship with God and a promise with God and a promise to humanity also that she would bring about some final conclusion of the providence. And you can say again, with or without. Think about that. With or without. Can you imagine that? I don't think anybody's even asked this question. What if, Father used to ask this question. Father said, if I fail in my responsibility, what will you do? If I fail in my responsibility, what should you do? If I fail in my responsibility, then even you should take full responsibility for everything left undone. So think about that. Father's mind is so deep, like a parental heart. For Father to say that, it's really, I believe Father's mind is wanting us as sons and daughters to stand up straight and stand up and fulfill our responsibility absolutely, and even unwaveringly, and even if something should happen to true parents, God forbid, but that's what Father's saying. Even if I fail, what will you do? So think about that just for a minute. Now look at Mother through that lens. What would Mother do if there was some disruption in the plan, if there was some challenge, some problem? Is Mother the type of person that would give up? Here's what I believe. I believe Mother's authority comes from God, and I believe she made a promise from birth and from her earliest conscious moments. I believe that promise and her understanding of that promise has matured as she has matured, but it is rooted completely in that fundamental pure promise, and that has unwavered throughout her life. And that is the promise she is keeping. Not since 1960, not since Father's passing, not since Foundation Day, but from the earliest moments of her memory. That's when I believe the root of her conscious promise exists, and as far as even deeper than that, surely at her birth or even before her birth, as prepared by the 3 generations and her entire lineage. I'm not sure how it was for all of you, but for me the last 10 years has been pretty bad, pretty hard. Like trying to find a needle in a sandstorm with my eyes closed. I mean, you can't open your eyes in a sandstorm because, right, the sand just obliterates your eyeballs. She goes on. When a country was established in history, there were central people and there were those who participated in that. So Mother's thinking about nations that rose out through human history and imagining how those nations came to be, and imagining that around those kings and queens or whatever was going on, there was a united team. Even if a small team, there was a united team around that leadership that gave birth to the nation. But Mother says there were central people who participated in that. But I cannot say I had such people around me. I endured everything by myself and then proclaimed the first year of Chonoguk. So Mother's talking about the last 10 years, and she's also talking right here about that 6 months right after Father passed. Why would she still be talking about this? I don't think Mother is someone who just loves to complain and lament and talk about suffering just because, right? Even, this is a woman that doesn't shed a tear lightly. She will not want to expose a tear even to her own children, even to us, even though probably many of us, at least I know us from the West, can relate to that aspect of Mother's nature. To see a tear, to see that emotion kind of helps us feel a little bit closer in a sense, because we can imagine, well, Mother's having those feelings. But the truth is that Mother's not just having those feelings that we could relate to. Mother's having feelings so much fundamentally deeper than we have ever felt, and even those, how deep and broad and how momentous they are at any given moment, she will not expose even a small percentage of those feelings. And for her to say this, therefore, is not just light. It's education for us. There's meaning in these words for us to understand. Am I going on too long about it? I endured everything by myself, and then I proclaimed the first year of Chonoguk. Now, imagine if Mother said this the day after Foundation Day. The truth of the matter is, Mother couldn't even say this. She's been hinting at this for 10 years. But imagine if she said this sentence 10 years ago. Already, the sand was hitting her face. She couldn't open her eyes. This is to say that it was really us. It was us. It was those around her, and certainly those closer to her. But we all need to have that sense of responsibility. If not, then why would Mother be telling us this? And so anyway, she proclaimed Chonoguk, she proclaimed Foundation Day, and this was a miracle. However, she goes on, a proclamation alone is not enough. Though this never really happened in the past, I know many of you have made personal effort and offered devotion to bring results and contribute towards church development. So Mother's really acknowledging the fact. She knows that, in one sense, she knows everyone's doing their best. And she's greeting these family-fed leaders from Korea in this speech, representing all of us. She knows that we have done our best in some sense to help development, right? So from that time and for some years, I've been speaking about a revolution of the culture of heart. This is what we talked about last week. Mother's longing for a revolution of the culture of heart. Again, she's not even saying, I want to live in a world with a culture of heart. She's still talking about the revolution. It didn't happen yet. It doesn't exist yet. She's talking about proclamation is not enough. Mother really wants substance, brothers and sisters. Can you hear? Substance, right? Standing in the position of going beyond the Old Testament age, the New Testament age, and the completed Testament age, and proclaiming the first year of Chonoguk was about creating an environment in which people can attend and live with Heavenly Parent. So, mothers created the environment and still creating the environment. The question is, how are we attending? Or are we? Or to what degree? Now, Mother reminisces, she's really thinking about the culture of heart, and she's reminiscing also on history a little bit here, especially the New Testament age, and she starts speaking about, songs. So let's follow her train of thought here. With regard to songs of praise sang in church services, many beautiful hymns were composed in the New Testament age as people waited for Jesus to return as he had promised. Shall We Gather at the River is a hymn of faith that was composed during a time of oppression and expresses Christians' resolve even to die as they looked forward to the day when they could once again meet the Messiah. So mothers trying to get our minds, trying to help us to reflect on the purity, on the poetry, on the depth of heart that existed there, with the longing of, in the New Testament age, with the Christians who were longing to the degree even willing to die in wait of the day when the Messiah would return. And so out of the bitter sweetness of that longing, poetry was written. Out of the bitter sweetness of that longing, precious hymns were sung. Out of the bitter sweetness of that longing, beautiful art and architecture was made, trying to echo, trying to mimic, trying to capture the vibration of God's heart. And Mother is talking about this. She wants to see a revolution of the culture of heart. Not an Old Testament style or even a New Testament or a completed Testament style, but a Chonilguk style, I believe. 2,000 years ago, back then, I believe the Jordan River must have been a great river. I visited in the 70s and even in 1968. During those visits, the Jordan River was more like a brook. It's just a small stream. That's how much it had changed. So looking at such historical facts, I envisioned what life would be like in the future as we attend Heavenly Parent in the kingdom of heaven on earth. So Mother's trying to look at what the future would be by analyzing the past and thinking about what we longed for and how much things have changed and how much must things now change into the future. Where are we going? What would it look like? It's like even Mother's trying to imagine what would it look like if we were attending Heavenly Parent in the kingdom of heaven on earth. Now, Mother has a pretty good idea, right? But even God, even Heavenly Parent, even true parents cannot fully describe to you what the completed ideal creation really looks like, because even God hasn't seen it yet. Think about that. If it didn't include our own creative impulse, if it didn't include our own creative heart, if it didn't include our own revolution of the culture of heart, then maybe you could say God knows exactly what it looks like. Maybe even true parents could describe exactly what it looks like. But the fact of the matter is that we belong there, and therefore we are needed there as co-creators, and therefore our own individual, unique, creative impulse, artistic culture is needed to be a part of that world before we can even see what that world looks like. All of us, black, white, yellow, all of the ethnicities, all of the cultures are merely fractions of what the entire mosaic must look like, and how beautiful it must be. And here Mother's describing a longing in her own heart, a desire, just an imagination. What will it be? What will it look like? It was with this in mind that I called David Eaton to come to Korea. He was deeply involved in cultural activities at the time we were conducting the work of God's global providence based in the United States. When I encountered the most beautiful masterpieces around the world, many songs express through their lyrics and melodies the feelings or sensations experienced in a particular place. There are, for instance, beautiful songs written about Naples, Italy. Thank you, Mother. Naples, Italy. That's where my Italian ancestors are from. And if you want to know how beautiful Naples is, go there. They say, you know, once you visited Naples, you can die. It's like you can't die without seeing Naples. It is absolutely gorgeous. And one of my mother's favorite songs is Santa Lucia. Santa Lucia. You know, this one. That's a little bit wrong. But maybe I'll practice that, right? I'll sing that next time. These songs express the environment and atmosphere to those times as well. Germany is another example. So Mother now sings a song. I don't know the melody of this song, but I'll read the song. A Bodhi tree stands by the well in front of the castle gate. Under the shade of that tree, I had a sweet dream. I engraved words of hope on its branches. 'Tis under the tree that I go in times of happiness and sadness. 'Tis under the tree that I go. So, it's very simple and very pure. And Mother's, I almost feel like Mother's just edging us on. She's saying, come on guys, don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. Here you've got the only begotten daughter of God picking out these 5 lines of poetry. So simple. It's a tree by a well in front of the castle gate, and this is where this person goes. This is where the person goes and relates in depth with their heart. And they try to etch it onto the tree. It's like just a relationship with the place and describing that place. Like here I am by this beautiful ocean. If I sat back and just listened, it's like the salt in the water dancing as it froths white, approaching the sand. What does the ocean make you feel? Maybe the ocean makes you feel there will always be another day to clean, to revive. The tide will rise and the tide will ebb. There's many things that you can enjoy in nature, like we were talking last week. So that's why I'm here right now. Mother says you can feel the atmosphere through the lyrics of this song. Can't you? In this era of Chonoguk, when we are attending Heavenly Parent and living with true parents, our songs of praise should also change accordingly. So guys, we need to write new songs. If you didn't get the memo. That is why I brought David Eaton here 10 years ago and said to him, please write lyrics and melodies reflecting the atmosphere you are experiencing here. Yet this is not an easy task, it seems. And it's truly not an easy task. So please, if Mother sends David Eaton from America to Korea to write songs and write poetry, please don't think it's David's job. Please think, True Mother's taking this top-level guy from the United States, yes, because he will do some work. But she's also telling all of us, those of you who can meditate on your attendance to Heavenly Parent and true parents, put some words to it, maybe put some melody to it. And in fact, David every year opens up Holy Song competitions for exactly that purpose. So David Eaton has been following through on Mother's request. But I think there's more than one instrument in the orchestra. So let us all really be stimulated by Mother's request here. She's been longing for this. Father also. That's why they set up the little angels so many years ago. And now Mother goes on to another song. There's another song I have sung since I was a young girl. But though I am actually a soprano, nowadays my voice is not so good. Mother laughs. At this point, Mother's laughing at herself because she's kind of saying my voice is getting a little bit less than before. However, I must sing this song to you for the sake of America. Now this is an American song. Mother sings it. The sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, the people are gay, which means happy. The corn tops ripe and the meadows in bloom, while the birds make music all the day. The young folks roll on the little cabin floor, all merry, all happy, and bright. By and hard times come a-knocking at the door, then my old Kentucky home, good night. Weep no more, my lady, oh weep no more today. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home, far away. So it is sort of a song, a little bit of melancholy, remembering my old Kentucky home. And Mother says, though it was short, did I sing it all right? Everybody claps. When do you think this song was composed? She asks. This song was composed for the independence of the United States before the Civil War between the North and the South. Christianity began to evangelize the world centered on Europe, yet its fundamental essence is love your neighbor as yourself. It was to do with love. In spite of this, people did numerous things that contradicted this fundamental essence. So think of that, just the simplicity of Mother's mind when she's speaking about America and America's responsibility. And of course, it's rooted in Europe. Speaking about the expansion of Christianity, speaking about the responsibility of Europe. And so, Christianity began to evangelize the world centered on Europe. The essence of Christianity is love your neighbor as yourself. And Mother's question to us all is, so, is that how we evangelize? Is that how Christianity expanded around the world? Have we Christians left footprints around the world of loving others as we love ourselves? As is the case in Africa, when you look at the original roads that were built in Africa, all of them go from the resources to the ports. There's no infrastructure built for the people or internally within the nations. It goes from the mine to the port. It's like straight from the gold to the boat. That's the only reason we need the road, is to take. So that is not the essence of Jesus. That is not the essence of Christianity. That is absolutely not the essence of treating your neighbor as yourself. So, you know, you can talk about many things about history, and most of the time we get caught up in the details. But Mother is like kind of pulling the rug out from everything to say with so simple words, Europe's responsibility, America's responsibility, ultimately Christianity's responsibility, unfulfilled. Unfulfilled because we evangelize Christianity at great expense to others, at great expense. Slaves were sold around the world by Christians that went to Africa. This song about Kentucky is inspired by a scenic farm in the South. There was a black man working on that farm. Although he lived happily, surrounded by nature that he loved, I think it was in this situation that he had to fight for the Confederate Army in the Civil War. This song expresses his longing for the hometown he has left behind. Can you imagine the scene? Okay, so Mother's really getting into the scene here. Like I said, it's kind of a melancholy song. He's remembering his home where he comes from, this old Kentucky home that he's singing for. But it's not really his original home. It's a home that he made for himself out of the story of America, which included taking human beings from the continent of Africa to enslave them and work them on farms and in construction in America. And Mother's asking us to imagine the scene. Imagine the internal mind of this man who is now after America's independence. So we have the independence from Europe, independence from England. We have the American states. But now you have the Civil War looming, which is fundamentally a war that was largely centered around the Emancipation Act. So Lincoln wanted to abolish slavery, and I think at the time there were still so many people, especially in the South, that didn't agree, although in the North many people did agree, and many people risked their lives to help slaves escape. But civil war ultimately took place, and imagine being a black man in the South fighting for the Confederate Army in the Civil War, and just honestly longing to go back to the last chapter when things were more simple, you know? It's not asking for a lot, right? It's not asking to be taken back to Africa, not asking to be given paid reparations, not asking to be given much more than just, maybe that's, I'd like you to pray on what you think was in his mind, but it's a really beautiful heart that Mother has to think about this and ask us to pray on that. And so the United States was born as a new Christian nation, a liberal democracy, and moreover emerged as a representative liberal democratic nation during World War II. Key point in human history. So, if the United States had known the heavenly providence correctly back then, the division between North and South Korea would not have occurred. But now, on the Korean Peninsula, through True Parents, we will have a temple wherein we can attend Heavenly Parents substantially on this earth. This is a miracle of history. It's a miracle I had never once dreamed of. Do you feel it? Mother says. Do you feel it? So, mixed behind all of this is Mother's deep desire to see this new culture, and I feel her blood, sweat, and tears and heart and hope is being poured into every brick, every tile, every marble pillar of this Chonmungung, of this Chonil Sanctum, this incredibly heavenly temple. This people, which has to fulfill the mission and responsibility of Heavenly Parents' homeland, must unite, so North and South. In order to do that, it is urgent that all of you who received the blessing first become one and realize a heavenly unified Korea. But we can't do this alone. The environment around us has to unite around us and help us. So this is where we come in, the rest of the world comes in, so listen. The United States is positioned to have the greatest influence. But Christianity in America, especially those in positions of political power, have a Christian background. But there is a problem of white supremacism. This is not Jesus' original nature. He told people to love their neighbors as themselves. However, the forces on the side of Satan have been striving for a very long time to occupy Africa. America is sleeping, however. Yet, the Africans came as slaves and many lived in the United States, and they suffered a lot under various types of white supremacism. To put it another way, in order for the democratic world to win over the communist world, the United States must become one with Africa. America must become one with Asia. From this standpoint, the presidents who will lead the United States in the future must know for sure. What is America's mission? America cannot just be for Americans. True parents are the ones that can educate them about that. There is only one set of true parents, the true parents. You must teach so that the United States can become one with the Mother of Peace, so that America can embrace Africa and embrace Asia and the rest of the world. To that end, there are many beautiful concepts in these songs of praise in the hymns of the New Testament era. As well as marching songs, there are many famous songs, which is the reason for creating a cultural center in this era of Chonilguk. Since we have to create the culture of Chonilguk, even if you do not have any professional knowledge, you are all waiting for the day when you will be able to dedicate your life to the present moment in oneness with true parents, and moreover, the temple where you can directly attend Heavenly Parent. I hope that through your devotion and effort, many treasures will emerge that can be praised in song in front of God. In the beginning, I was alone, but now that you are here, I will try to advance in hope. I believe Mother wants us to understand the deep heart and struggle and even poetry of history, and she wants us to stand beside her as her children, as one family, united, no doubt, no wavering, no disunity, total unity as one. Even though we might trip and stumble and fall, we get up and we keep on going with hope despite the challenges, with hope despite the history that may be trying to pull us back, with hope together as one together with True Mother, with Heavenly Parent. Let's get excited about the Chonwon-gung. Let's get excited about the Chonil, the Heavenly Sanctum. Let's get excited to bring our offering for the Chonwon-gung. Let us bring our donation for the Chonwon-gung. As much as we can possibly bring to the table, let us do, so that our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, and on will be truly proud that we did not sleep in this hour. That we did not sleep, but we stood up in this hour, that we embraced our true parents, that we deeply reflected on the internal heart and mind of our true mother, who till this day is still reminding us of how we were sleeping in the past, reminding us of how we've been, throwing sand in her face in the past. But now we are with you, Mother. Now we are with you, so yes, have hope, and yes, we can have hope too. Brothers and sisters, let us go forward, marching as one, and if we can write some songs along the way, let's do it. Let them be sincere, let them be based on substance, let them be based on the true simplicity of the life that we are living. History is complicated, but I believe humankind in the future, our experience with Heavenly Parent in the future will be one much more beautiful, much more simple, much more intoxicatingly artistic than you can possibly imagine. Let us experience it. Let us discover it together. In the meantime, I hope you could enjoy True Mother's words today, and I hope I could add some extra color for you, and I hope especially you could enjoy the sweet, calming sound of the sea in the distance. Until next time, God bless you.
បាទអរគុណច្រើនបាទសូមផ្ទះដៃម្ដងទៀតអរគុណដល់លោកប្រធានដែលមានដាំងឃ្លីរបស់យើងទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទអរគុណសម្រាប់សារដ៏ពោពេញទៅដោយអត្ថន័យនិងការឆ្លុះបញ្ចាំងយ៉ាងស៊ីជម្រៅអំពីទឹកចិត្តរបស់អ្នកម្ដាយពិតរបស់យើងនិងការបដិញ្ញាចិត្តរបស់អ្នកម្ដាយពិតរបស់យើងផងដែរបាទអញ្ចឹងបន្តទៅទៀតគឺយើងមាននៅកម្មវិធីការធ្វើចំណាប់អារម្មណ៍បាទអញ្ចឹងបើសិនបងប្អូនយើងស្ម័គ្រចិត្តអាចលើកដៃបាទ volunteer reflection yeah I think it's hard to find ចឹងបាទมันងាយស្រួលទេដើម្បីស្វែងរកអ្នកស្ម័គ្រចិត្តបាទអញ្ចឹងអត់អីចឹងខ្ញុំមានតែគ្រប់អញ្ជើញតែម្ដងបាទអញ្ញាតខ្ញុំគ្រប់អញ្ជើញលោកចម្រើនសុផលប្រធានសហព័ន្ធគ្រួសារដើម្បីចែករំលែកនៅចំណាប់អារម្មណ៍របស់លោកបាទសូមផ្ទះដៃស្វាគមន៍ទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទ
បាទអរុនសួស្តីអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទ Good morning បាទចំពោះព្រឹកនេះយើងបានចូលរួមនៅកម្មវិធីរហូតដល់ទៅ2បាទកម្មវិធីទី1កម្មវិធី Synergy ដែលរៀបចំឡើងដោយ IAQ បាទប្រមូលផ្ដុំយុវជនទូទាំងពិភពលោកបាទនៅក្នុងការចូលរួមនៅព្រឹត្តិការណ៍ដ៏សំខាន់នេះហើយព្រឹកនេះផងដែរលោកប្រធានដែលមានដាំងឃ្លីបាទបានធ្វើការអាននៅសាររបស់អ្នកម្ដាយប៉ុន្មានថ្ងៃមុននេះហើយរួមផ្សំជាមួយនឹងចំណាប់អារម្មណ៍នឹងការ យល់នឹងការចង់ចែករំលែកដល់យើងទាំងអស់គ្នាសម្រាប់ថ្ងៃនេះអ្វីដែលខ្ញុំចាប់អារម្មណ៍ចំពោះប្រសាសន៍របស់លោកប្រធាននៃមានដាំងឃ្លីបាទតកតងនៅក្នុងការអាននៅសាររបស់អ្នកម្ដាយតកតងជាមួយនឹងការប្រកាសអំពីឈុននៃគុកបាទបន្ទាប់ពីលោកឪពុកបានលាចាកលោកនេះទៅឆ្នាំ2012អញ្ចឹងអ្វីទៅជាឈុននៃគុកបាទប្រកាសអំពីការបង្កើតនៅប្រទេសឈុននៃគុកប៉ុន្តែអ្នកម្ដាយបានមានប្រសាសន៍នៅក្នុងនោះក៏លើកឡើងថាការប្រកាសតែមួយមុខគឺមិនគ្រប់គ្រាន់នោះទេឈុននៃគុកប៉ុន្តែត្រូវការគ្រួសារទាំងអស់គ្រួសារសិទ្ធិពរជ័យរួបរวมគ្នាដើម្បីបង្កើតនៅឈុននៃគុកទាំងអស់គ្នាប្រទេសឈុននៃគុកពិភពលោកនៃឈុននៃគុកទាំងអស់គ្នាចឹងគឺត្រូវការនៅក្រុមគ្រួសារសិទ្ធិពរជ័យទាំងអស់នៅក្នុងការចូលរួមបង្កើតនៅឈុននៃគុកនេះហើយទន្ទឹមពេលវេលាជាមួយគ្នាបាទកំឡុងពេលបន្ទាប់ពីលោកឪពុកបានលាចាកលោកនេះទៅចឹងគឺភាពជាអ្នកដឹកនាំមាននៅការប្រែប្រួលមាននៅភាពស្មុគស្មាញជាច្រើនដែលនៅពេលនោះក៏អ្នកម្ដាយបានលើកឡើងថាកំឡុងពេលនោះអ្នកម្ដាយប្រៀបបីដូចជាកំពុងតែនៅក្នុងវាលខ្សាច់បាទក្នុងព្យុះខ្សាច់ហើយស្វែងរកនៅមជ្ឈុលបាទស្វែងរកមជ្ឈុលចឹងនៅក្នុងអត្ថន័យនេះខ្ញុំក៏គិតថាអ្នកម្ដាយគឺពិតជាត្រូវការជំរុញលើកទឹកចិត្តត្រូវការគ្រួសារសិទ្ធិពរជ័យទាំងអស់បាទធ្វើការជាមួយគ្នានិងធ្វើដំណើរជាមួយនឹងអ្នកម្ដាយមួយទៀតតកតងអំពីចំណុចដំបូងបាទតកតងអំពីចំណុចអ្នកម្ដាយបាទដែលកំឡុងពេលនៅក្នុងព្យុះខ្សាច់បាទហើយកំពុងតែស្វែងរកនៅមជ្ឈុលបាទនៅក្នុងព្យុះខ្សាច់នេះហើយលោកប្រធាននៃមានដាំងឃ្លីក៏លោកបានសួរថាតើតកតងអំពីតើអ្នកម្ដាយនឹងមាននៅ authority មាននៅសិទ្ធិអំណាចបែបណាតើអ្នកម្ដាយទទួលបាននៅអំណាចពីឋានសួគ៌នៅពេលណាចឹងមាននៅការវែកញែកការដេញដោលជាច្រើននៅក្នុងចំណុចនេះប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំលោកប្រធាននៃមានដាំងឃ្លីក៏បានបញ្យល់តកតងអំពីចំណុចដ៏សំខាន់នេះបាទសិទ្ធិអំណាចរបស់អ្នកម្ដាយគឺមានតាំងពីដើមកំណើតកំឡុងពេលនៃការកើតរបស់អ្នកម្ដាយនិងសូម្បីតែមុនពេលកំណើតរបស់អ្នកម្ដាយហើយក៏បានលើកឡើងអំពីតកតងអំពីពិភពលោកទឹកចិត្តនៃពិភពលោកបាទទឹកចិត្តរបស់យើងនៅក្នុងការបង្កើតនៅវប្បធម៌ពិភពលោក World Culture of Heart ហើយតកតងអំពីចំណុចនេះគឺកំឡុងពេលលោកប្រធាននៃមានដាំងឃ្លីបាទគាត់អញ្ជើញមកប្រទេសកម្ពុជារបស់យើងបាទរយៈពេលប្រហែលថ្ងៃបាទថ្ងៃទី21លោកអញ្ជើញមកដល់ថ្ងៃទី23បាទលោកអញ្ជើញត្រឡប់ទៅវិញអញ្ចឹងកំឡុងពេលនេះខ្ញុំក៏មានឱកាសដើម្បីធ្វើដំណើរបាទជាមួយលោកបាទទៅចូលរួមនៅក្នុងកម្មវិធី IPA បាទកម្មវិធី IPA ហើយកំឡុងពេលនោះគឺលោកក៏បានលើកឡើងតាក់ទងអំពីផ្ដោតទៅលើ core បាទជាទូទៅគឺយើងនិយាយអំពី 80% ទៅលើ mass មានន័យថាផ្ដោតទៅលើ creating environment គឺ mass 80% 80%ផ្ដោតទៅលើ core តែ 20% ភាគច្រើន focusing on core only 20%. But now President he really try to ask us, try to support us that we need to focus mass 20% and core 80%. So how we can raise up our young people more in order to receive the blessing, because young people are the core. Young people are the main future. So this is that during the time I travel with him around with the motor cab or police car, he also feel many things. So I think, but still we need to work together how to fulfill the core 80%, and also this time related with the education. Reverend Simon Pang came to Cambodia. I think this is one part of the core. So we need to think of the education. So how can we build the ministry of our movement to be stronger? Especially this time, I'm grateful for also Brother Chanda also to support the whole process of this 2-day special education for our young people and with the blessed family. Really we really need the pipeline, and especially the responsible person focus on that education. So to really fulfill what President wish, that we focus core 80%. And as well as I also talk a bit with the Reverend Simon Pang, so we need to discuss more, so how to raise up, how to strengthen the ministry, and then we can reach. And he really want to support. He feel like we need to now, our president, David Dankli, really focus to 80% core. We need to focus on 80% core. So really we need to catch God's heart to reach 80% core. So anyway, in the same time, IPA is going on. Honorable Ignat, accompanied with the speaker of the National Assembly of Nepal. So we go around. This is a creating environment. Only 20% that President think of, that whatever to do, that 20% that we focus, but our FFWPU should focus more core 80%. So anyway, in that time also IAPP, that Honorable Ignat as a chair of IAPP, so IAPP is also recognized and also can give the statement in 43rd, the IPA 43rd General Assembly. So this is also support to us together for that. And last president talked about going to the home, Kentucky home. So this is the human being build themselves, but he referred to what mother wish, that we can go to the original home. So this is what I can feel, that we could not understand. We are ignorant, so we don't know. So how, what is our last destination to go to our original home? So through President message, so I could feel that really we are still not mature enough, but we need to work together to reach our mother's heart, to comfort our true mother. Yeah, so thank you very much.
បាទម្ដងទៀតផ្ទះដៃអរគុណដល់លោកចម្រើនសុផលទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទសម្រាប់ការធ្វើនៅចំណាប់អារម្មណ៍ហើយបន្តទៅទៀតអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យខ្ញុំគោរពអញ្ជើញលោកបណ្ឌិតតាំងគឹមស្រួយអនុប្រធានសហព័ន្ធគ្រួសារប្រចាំតំបន់អាស៊ីប៉ាស៊ីហ្វិកទី1ដើម្បីធ្វើនៅចំណាប់អារម្មណ៍ក៏ដូចជាបួងសួងសម្រាប់ការផ្ដល់នៅប្រសិទ្ធពរជ័យផងដែរបាទសូមផ្ទះដៃស្វាគមន៍ទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទ
អរគុណច្រើនបាទជំរាបអរគុណលោកចម្រើនសុផលសម្រាប់ការធ្វើការ reflection បាទអរុនសុស្ដីបាទសុខសប្បាយបាទអញ្ចឹងអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាប្រកាសជាទទួលបាននៅពរជ័យច្រើនហើយអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំមិនមាននៅចំណាប់អារម្មណ៍អីទេសូមអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទបិទភ្នែកហើយគិតនៅអ្វីដែលអ្នកម្ដាយបានស្នើសុំដល់យើងទាំងអស់គ្នាតាក់ទងជាមួយនឹងសំណួរមួយថា នៅដំបងឡើយអ្នកម្ដាយនៅម្នាក់ឯងចឹងឥឡូវជំនួសដោយអ្នកម្ដាយដំបងឡើយយើងនៅម្នាក់ឯងប៉ុន្តែនៅពេលនេះយើងនៅជាមួយអ្នកម្ដាយ so just to reflect back mother said first she was alone but now she was with you but instead of that just reflect back at first you are alone but now you are with through mothers and reflect back how much you can do with mothers better than you are alone. Please close your eyes and sing and pray to true mother, gratefully saying to be together being with her at this moment, grateful at this moment. Heavenly parents, thank you very much for this moment that we come together to listen to your words directly. How precious, how important, how lucky we are to live in the same era as the two parents, the same era with our dear true mothers. For the past 10 years, she was alone at the beginning, and now she appreciates to us for joining with her, for supporting her. Holy parents, how painful that human beings, billions and billions of people, are unable to understand how my God suffers, how my the parents are suffers. The war are break out everywhere. The crisis are take place everywhere. Young people lost their hopes. Holy parents, now it's only time that we can feel once again through mother heart. Every mother carry on that heart. Naturally can understand God, and she wants us the same way as the children to feel God, to feel Holy parents, and to live well in home, to live well with husband and wife, to have a good relationship between parent and children. Holy parents, how much that she really invests in us. Every night she cannot sleep, the pillow wet because the tears are running down. The tears are drops every night. Holy parents, how about us? How about us here? How much that you really want us to be a happy children, a happy family, but we are too much attached to our self-centeredness, attached to our fear, attached to our ignorance. We cannot see the value of your heart. We cannot see how much you love us. Please forgive us, Holy parents. Give us chance. The next 5 years is very crucial, important for us here, Cambodia, Asia Pacific, once and around the world. So we will do our best. We will bless thousands and thousands of young people and families, Holy parents. Allow us to understand how much it's important, and allow us to connect to the Chunil sanctums, the holy temple that you built for us, for our ancestors, for all humankind. Deeply appreciate to that, Holy Parent Japan, our true mothers. We thank you, we love you, we cannot express enough our hearts, our tiny hearts, true mothers, that you walk alone in the middle of sandstorms, like looking at tiny needles that no one knows, that no one understands your heart. Just yet we are complaining about you. We are not well aware of your heart. We have complained about you. To us, we thank you for keeping that love, for trusting us and give us time again and again. Through the Korean pastor gathering, You give your ultimate love and hope in them, and show that model of unchanging heart as a mothers to the children. And you want us to go forward as a Chonbo family church, to give love more to the family, to the children, to the young people in each community, in each family, and the parents. Deeply appreciate to you with all our leader name who are here together in Cambodia, also in Asia Pacific one, with family, children, young people. We deeply appreciate, and we would like to humbly apologize, and humbly would like to offer everything from our bottom of heart to you. Don't worry, we want to be with you, Holy Parent, and march forward with hopes that we're going to bring the substantial result. With all our leader names, our brother and sister names, our family names, our children name, I would like to offer prayer and report to you in my name, Tang Kim Sri Thane Saika, the blessed of family. Achu.
បាទជាថ្មីម្ដងទៀតតែដៃអរគុណដល់លោកបណ្ឌិតណាំងគឹមស្រីទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទសម្រាប់ការបួងសួងផ្ដល់ពរជ័យសម្រាប់សេវាកម្មថ្ងៃទឹករបស់យើងចឹងយើងឈានមកដល់នាទីបញ្ចប់នៃកម្មវិធីសេវាកម្មថ្ងៃទឹកជាផ្លូវការហើយសូមជូនពរដល់គ្រូសាស្ត្រសិទ្ធិពរជ័យថ្នាក់ដឹកនាំបងប្អូនប្រុសស្រីរបស់យើងទាំងអស់គ្នាមាននៅសប្តាហ៍ដ៏រីករាយហើយនឹងមានថ្ងៃដ៏ល្អហើយពុំម្ដាយឋានសួគ៌ពុំម្ដាយពិតនៅជាមួយបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាសូមអរគុណច្រើន Thank you